Thank you very much for making a date today on the marketplace. Welcome back. Now, government has intensified its push to host the Secretariat for the Continental Free Trade Area. Senegal, Egypt, Kenya, Madagascar, Ethiopia and Eswatini have all put in a bid to host the Secretariat. But the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, argues that government has done the necessary groundworks to win the contest. The minister says he has used the annual meetings to engage colleague ministers and even the president of Equatorial Guinea for their support.
As you know, we are bidding to have the Secretariat in Ghana. But the fact of the matter is that in, I think, 2011, when there was a ministerial meeting in Ghana, that's when the initial discussions of the CFTA was mooted. And then in the 18th session of the AU, President Jonathan Mills actually moved the motion for the Continental Free Trade area. So we've sort of come a long way in that, and as you know, we were the first to ratify and indicate our interest in doing this. So I think there's a state of preparedness for that, and we are, of course, in competition with some 5 other countries. That's Egypt, Eswatini, Madagascar, Kenya, Ethiopia, and I think Senegal. And I dare say that we should be able to bring this home. You know, the amazing thing is that with all that Ghana has done and our leadership in Africa, we don't even have one AU organization institution in our country. So I think that the empathy is there from our colleagues and from the president's colleagues, and we are fairly confident that we should be.
Meanwhile, political will and lack of adequate infrastructure to support the Continental Free Trade Area could be the biggest threat to its full implementation. These are some views of participants at the ongoing African Development Bank meeting in Malabo. George Rafe has more in this report.
From next month, Ghana and other African countries that have signed up onto the Continental Free Trade Agreement are expected to open their borders to aid the full movement of goods without the required import duties and taxes on them. The Finance Minister from Zimbabwe, Professor Ntole Nkube, believes that the various African governments must also work first dealing with the free movement of persons if they really want this pact to be successful.
I think one key area is that of movement of people and allowing Africans to come in and out of Zimbabwe in terms of visas, or indeed into Ghana or into Nigeria or wherever. But this shouldn't be difficult. We can learn from other regions. ECOWAS, for example, has done very well in terms of eliminating visas for travel. So movement of people, to me, is low-hanging fruit that I think we can fix very easily. Even just in terms of getting a visa on arrival or a visa online, so just make it easy, then hopefully eventually eliminate visas.
President of the Eastern South African Trade and Development Bank, Admasu Tedase, tells Joy Business, for private businesses, they want the required structures to be implemented during the implementation of this pact.
We believe in Ghana. We think Ghana has a very strong economic future. We think that Ghana has a lot of potential to benefit from trade with Eastern and Southern Africa. So we really think we can step into that space and be very practical about it. And study the trade requirements, the export opportunities that Ghana has, but also the import opportunities that exist there for other countries. And so we would typically step into a country and do a country strategy and compare that to the regional strategy and then look to start promoting the flows.
For some, it is clear that political leaders hold the key to this agreement in terms of realizing this full movement of goods and services as well as persons in the region to aid this Continental Free Trade Agreement.
All right, so we're trying to get live updates from Malabo, Equatorial Guinea for some developments at the African Development Bank meetings ongoing now in the capital of Equatorial Guinea, and we're trying to link up with our man, George Rafe. Now, before we get to him, let's move on to other stories. Chief Revenue Officer at the Policy and Programming Department of Ghana Revenue Authority, Richard Hakeem Kwenu, says any company that establishes in any other regional capital other than Greater Accra enjoys 25% of VAT, whilst others which locate their businesses outside the regional capitals also have their tax slashed by half. He reminded business operators of the relief, which he noted is available to encourage manufacturing companies to site in rural areas. Richard Kwenu gave the reminder at an advisory regulatory forum organized to bridge the gap between public and regulatory agencies in Accra.
The location tax incentive has to do with where the manufacturing concern is. And here the emphasis is on manufacturing. So if you have any manufacturing concern within Accra and Tema, you do not enjoy the location tax incentive. But if you go to any of the regional capitals outside of Accra and Tema, the corporate rate now we have, is 25%. So it means that 25% will be given out as a concession. So you pay 75% of the 25% of the corporate rate. And if you go outside the regional capitals also, then you will enjoy 50% of the 25%, which is the corporate tax rate. And that's what the location tax concession seem to do. And it has been in the books, but it has been in the old law, which was at 592, and now the new law that we have is Act 896. It's also being repeated over there. And one thing that I added also was that we want to encourage companies to employ young graduates who are coming from the tertiary institutions. So I said, if you have 1% of your workforce being newly graduates from any of the tertiary institutions, 1% of your workforce, then you have 10% of the cost of the graduates, the staff cost of the graduates, as additional allowable deduction. If you have between 1% and then 5%, you have 30% as allowable reduction. And if it's above 5%, then you have 50% of the staff cost of the graduates as an additional allowable reduction.
Now, CEO of Upper Manya Kro Rural Bank, Andrew Echampong, has advised financial institutions to adequately capitalize and make liquidity the utmost priority to reduce the surge in panic withdrawals in the banking sector. According to him, the bank survived the recent banking sector turmoil, which saw many financial institutions fold up because they chose liquidity over profitability. Mr. Echampong was speaking on the sidelines of the 35th annual general meeting of the Upper Manya Kro Rural Bank at Asasoa in the Eastern region.
The banking sector was hit with panic withdrawals following the collapse of some indigenous banks after the Bank of Ghana embarked on a cleanup. Andrew Echampong says most banks survived and have remained buoyant because they slowed down on credit and ensured they had enough liquid funds.
You collect deposits not to misuse them. So I've been telling my colleagues that when it comes to choosing between profitability and liquidity, I think liquidity should come first. You understand me? That is why last year, we had problems in the industry where there were a lot of panic withdrawals. I told my colleagues that we need to, slow down on credit and make sure that we had liquid funds so that anytime people shoot in to make withdrawals, we were able to serve them. Indeed, some came to test our pulse. Some made withdrawals only for them to return the cash that they withdrew after some weeks, all because they wanted to see whether we are still strong on the ground. So for me, if you ask me why the board chairman said that, I think it's a very good strategy that we adopted last year.
The board chairman of the Upper Manya Kro Rural Bank, James Kwame Otieku, said the bank recorded a 20% growth in total income from 11.7 million Ghana cedis in 2017 to 14 million Ghana cedis in 2018. He noted that operations costs also went up by 25.4% in 2018 compared with the 4.9% recorded in 2017. Total assets also grew by 7.14% from 48.6 million Ghana cedis in 2017 to 52.1 million cedis in 2018. Mr. Otieku appreciated efforts of management and staff in recording this year's modest growth given the stiff competition in the deposit mobilization space. The bank spent 77,543 Ghana cedis on corporate social responsibility.
Let's now move to one of our top stories. Minister for Trade and Industry, Alan Chemanting, is urging businesses in the EU to establish their presence in Ghana by building manufacturing plants and administrative offices. According to the minister, Ghana is positioned to be the best place to enter the African market after implementation of the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. The minister made the appeal during his opening remarks at the Ghana EU Business Forum organized by the European Union under the theme Boosting Investments for Sustainable Jobs in Ghana. Let's touch base now on phone with our correspondent Ebenezer Sabuti, who has been covering the forum in Accra. Ebenezer, you're welcome to the marketplace.
Hi, Abwaji.
All right, so can you throw more light on what the Minister of Trade has been saying?
What the minister was starting to do is just tell the European businesses that Ghana has become the gateway to Africa. It's no more gateway to West Africa, it's Africa. And now, as part of Continental coming.
Hello, Ebenezer.
Time they use Ghana as the gateway to enter the other African market. He's telling them that if you want to enter Africa, Ghana is the place to be. When you position your business in Ghana, then you are in Africa. He was telling them about some of the flagship programs that government has put in place to ensure that businesses grow well in the country, and just warning them that Ghana is the best place to be if you want to be in Africa.
Now, what has been the response from the European Union business community attending the forum?
The European Union business community seems to be, happy with some of the policies. So I spoke with the commissioner herself, the ambassador, who was saying that, yes, they've seen this long ago, that Ghana has been the star of Africa. And it is, a testament in some of the programs that the government has initiated, like the One District, One Factory, some of the government industrialization program, which is bringing more international firms into their country. So you mentioned some of the European Union businesses that have already established in their country, and they are willing to increase their investment in their country. So they seem to be happy with the investment opportunities that is being presented to them by the government, and they are willing to take their advantage of it to enter into the African market.
All right, many thanks for that update. We'll get more from you when you get back to the office. Ebenezer Sabuti reaching us live from the Ghana EU Business Forum. Now, comply with the local content regulations by employing more people from the catchment areas of the mines, or we won't engage your company. That's the warning from mining firm Goldfields to its suppliers and contractors. According to the company, this will ensure locals get the maximum benefits of its activities. This came to light at the just-ended suppliers conference held at Takwa.
Goldfields in March 2018 moved from ownership mining, where it takes responsibility of all workers of the mines, to contract mining, where it outsources several of its functions. After a year of operating the new model at its Takwa mines, Goldfields says its success story is a commitment to employ local players around the mining community. Head of supply chain for Goldfields West Africa, Theophilus Ochiri, told Joy Business that the company has insisted on having majority of locals working in its concession.
There are suppliers we call local content suppliers. Those are suppliers that are located within our catchment area. Those suppliers tend to help us protect our social licensing. So we have a social contract with them to ensure that, one, they sustain their operations, and two, they are also able to help grow the local economy. So by so doing, for every contract that we give you for Goldfields, once you are located within the catchment area, we expect that, one, employment on the Goldfields contract will come from the local community. That's why we've made it part of our requirement going forward that before you give in contract from a local community, you should make employment as one of the key requirements before you can be given a contract.
According to him, the company has also produced the highest gold output for the last year as a result of the new business model.
We've seen a success story in the entire value chain when it comes to when we took the decision to go contract mining. We've been able to optimize when it comes to the right fit, the right skill, and the right caliber of people required for a particular set of job. So for us, it's been very successful. I mean, you saw the numbers for 2018. We produced 750,000 ounces, which is significant, very, very, very innovative, and it's all thanks to the support we got from the contract miners.
Some of the contractors share their thoughts with Joy Business.
You come here to Ghana, you have a fairly skilled workforce. I mean, you have UMAT students coming from the mining school that we use then as attachments, and a lot of them we employ. So the guys are there and willing to assist. And so when you talk about how do we roll out this technology, when you have skilled people like the Ghanaians coming from UMAT, it's actually not so difficult. We train them, and we partner with our customer.
Is to partner them in developing the energy infrastructure. So we've put out power plants and also put up what we call the pipeline that will convey power, natural gas to fire the plants.
This is live on the marketplace. Now, skincare products that are good enough to eat. Yes, you heard me right. Skincare products you can eat. That is the hallmark of Skin Gourmet, founded by Violet Amwabing, who aims to redefine beauty. On the repeats of the Joy Business van, we are at Achimota, where she makes her formulas.
Hello, my name is Violet, and I am the founder and the CEO of Skin Gourmet Limited. What do we do? So we deal in raw handmade skincare sourced from the wilds of Ghana, and it's so pure you can eat it. So today, Daryl came by, and he's going to come check out our studio.
Looks like a museum.
Really? Okay, so basically I have a thing about just letting things look straight and proper so you can actually see the labels properly, and this is how we started in my mother's gym, so I just decided to keep it going.
Actually nice. So tell me more.
Okay, so basically the products that we deal in is we deal in a lot of raw oils, we deal in butters, and then we also deal in scrubs. So if you look here, we have cocoa and coconut butter, and it's great for your skin, but it's also a great vegan substitute in terms of butter. So our products are so pure that you can eat them. All the products here are edible except for black soap. Not because it'll kill you, but it's black soap, so we wouldn't recommend that you eat it.
A sore on her lips during Harmattan some 5 years ago got Violet trying a range of creams for remedy, but it was shea butter that would work the magic.
It was just regular shea butter from the market. I put it on my lip, and within 3 days, it was gone. I mean, no scarring, nothing. So I started wondering, what is the other things that I'm putting in my cream? So I started reading the labels and realizing that half of the stuff I could not pronounce. I didn't know why it was in there. And I realized a lot of things that we're buying is because of the aesthetic value and not actually because it heals us. So I started making my own body butters. At first, I thought, I'm probably going to make the best body butter the world has ever seen.
That was the ambitious Violet right there. She began experimenting formulas, and she wanted her products to be different.
As I started researching what it is that Ghana has to offer, I started looking into how Ghanaians make our skincare, and not just Ghanaians from the north, Ghanaians from the central region, from the western region, and there's one thing in common. They all eat their skincare. I mean, what do I mean? Like, if you go to the north, right, the shea butter they're using for their skin is the same best shea butter they're using for stews. So I started asking myself, why is it that we've moved away from this principle into a more Western principle where what we're putting on our skin is not edible, when at the same time what you put on your skin is going to end up inside your body. So technically, you're still eating it. So I started doing more research about the different areas. Why do they like to use shea butter? What is it about the nuts? What is it about the seed? What is the healing properties? And that's how we came up with our whole range.
In 2014, Violet made her first product.
Okay, so production is done by hand, and we do everything in small batches. You can ask these ladies. In one day, we can do about how many products in one day?
50 jars.
50 jars, that's one production. But in terms of products, we can even crank out about 5 different products in one day.
Wow.
The key is that our formulations are simple. Nothing complicated, nothing you can't spell, nothing, if it's not needed, we're not putting it in there. So I'm going to show you guys how we make our hibiscus sugar scrub, just because, as you saw, we're out of stock. And so we're going to see, and then you're going to taste it.
Nice.
Okay, so ladies, let's do it. So pretty much it's done.
It's done?
Yes, it's done. So I'm gonna let you taste it.
Okay.
He just ate his skincare. Well done.
That is what makes Skin Gourmet different from other products. They are so organic you can eat them, and the raw materials are sourced right here in Ghana. According to the Ghana Health Service, 50 to 60% of adult Ghanaian women have at one time or the other actively used bleaching agents. That's the extent people go to look beautiful. Violet, with her natural skincare products, wants to redefine beauty.
You have to embrace who you are and make sure that you're healthy. And in being healthy, your true beauty comes out. So we're redefining beauty in the sense that beauty is not something fake. It's not something that you buy. It's who you are and being happy in that. It's not something that you're doing to please others, but in that you yourself will be well, but not just you being well. The environment has to be beautiful because you're beautiful.
Violet has had to grapple with issues of consistent supply of raw materials locally, but that has not stopped her from building a skincare brand that sells locally and internationally. Her business is also environmentally friendly.
And one thing that we tend to forget is the environment. So as much as possible, we like to reduce the waste. If you look at our packaging, we use brown paper bags just because it's better for the environment. When we have to do bigger boxes, we use, for instance, cardboard boxes like this. And then inside, we actually use, this is waste. If you look in there, that bedsit is actually waste that we reuse, and then we send it out to the client to just reduce the impact on the environment. Also, if we have to make bags, we like to use recycled jute bags. These are the bags that the shea nuts come in, and then we have it remade into little bags that's good for packaging. And we like to use a lot of wood.
And what's ahead in the next 5 years?
I don't know, but all I know is that we are aiming for world domination. So watch out for us. We're coming for you. Every country in the world is going to know us. It might not be in 5 years though, but very soon.
Catch the Joy Business Van again next Wednesday on Business Live with a repeat on Thursdays on the Marketplace. This is where we draw down the curtains on this afternoon's edition of the Marketplace. Great to be with you throughout the program. My name is Emmanuel Abuachi. Have a good afternoon.